Action! For Christmas 2020, we took part in a Secret Santa game jam. The idea is you get given a giftee and you make a game for them. I took part, and my giftee, a person called Danny Arnold, says they like strategy games and 8-bit retro style. They also said they like bazookas. So I made a game that combines this game and this game, because I've always wanted to make a Time Crisis-esque game. We're going for a nice, scoped, 10-minute experience, keyword, that doesn't matter if it has a ton of gameplay depth, it's just 10 minutes of fun new concepts for you to play. Tactics, shooting, game. Let's go. First things first, the tactics side of it. We have a grid, we have enemies, we have a player. The enemies run on a patrol path, and they will also notice the player. Once noticed, I can be shot, and more importantly, that enemy will A-star pathfind to try and find me. This only took like a couple of 2 to 3 days to put together because I literally came off the back of a game called Transformers Battlegrounds, which is a tactics game, so how to do all this stuff real quick is very fresh in my head. Next thing we added is a second player to the team who can move independently if I click twice. If I click once and then move around the cursor, I get an aiming cone. Let's say I want to go here to try and shoot this bad guy. Ta-da! That's action mode, and I can click to shoot the enemies. That's basically 80% of the game. One of the big things we really push for this is it's incredibly well scoped. No big new ideas here. I know I gotta make it in 2 weeks. I spent the next 2 or 3 days adding a bunch of extra mechanics needed and about 9 levels, including a basic movement tutorial, simple as that, and a basic how enemy patrols work and how shooting enemies work tutorial. That's it. 2 levels and you understand the entire game. Here we go. They're all just laid out in a line like this. The reason I do it like this is because it makes it a lot easier to edit, and it means that the camera, I don't have to do anything clever when transitioning levels. You literally just pan to the next one, and it simulates that NES-style map panning that Zelda and Mega Man use. Now that all the core gameplay's in and we've got our levels, I spent the rest of the time polishing it up and adding a bunch of art. The characters are really simple. Here's one of the players, there are 3 of them. I wanted to include Danny Arnold in the game since it is their Secret Santa gift. I don't actually know anything about them, gender, color of skin, anything, so I made them a masked Power Ranger kind of thing. I also gave them a bazooka because they said they liked a bazooka. Bad guys. Special bad guys. The environments themselves are a bit more complex. If I hit apply colors, ta-da, they use a special shader. Let me show you what I mean by that. That texture is that dude on the wall over there. What I do is I save the textures as RGB values, and then I can reuse them across reuse them across any level and just recolor as I see fit. Let's say, for example, I want this carpet to be blue instead of red. I just go to that level, tell it that your shadow color is now a lovely shade of blue, apply, ta-da! Reusable assets! Hooray! We also added animations to all the sprites, so there's a little run animation. The music was composed by me in FamiTracker, which actually emulates NES hardware, so in theory I think you could export it and it would actually play on a NES. It's also super authentic, there are 4 tracks in total. I don't normally compose music, this was a blast. That pretty much brings us up to where the game ended up. The only thing I added after this was polish, so more UI, so a special TV effect so that it actually looked like a cathode ray TV from the 80s or 90s. Other than that, we also added a couple of cinematics for the start and the finish, and we also added some special enemies. I will play the opening cinematic just so you can get a taste of how that works. There's been a kidnapping. 3 operatives are being held captive by an international criminal organization. Get into the tower and save our agents.
Time for the word. Loose you got it. Danny Arnold. Tactical Crisis.
So here's how that works. There we go. On the left is the camera, on the right is the actual cutscene. It's all very simple. It's just Unity animator stuff. It's also worth noting there are two big cutscenes I put effort into. but I will spare the second one because of the
Tactical
spoilers.
crisis.
Final note, this guy is the final boss. He used to be a HP sponge, but then Chloe gave me some really good tips on how to make him not feel like an HP sponge. He has some hidden mechanics, which I won't spoil here. Maybe I'll do an annotation video somewhere later, but that's for later Tom to worry about. I think that's it. Game's in the description. Bye!
Action! Loose your cannon. Missile!